Marshall. How early? Fucking 7:30 in the morning early, dude. What the fuck, y'all? Shit. Do I really have to explain myself at 7 o'clock in the morning? Explain yourself. Are you ready to hear this conversation first thing in the morning? Are you ready to have an adult conversation first thing in the morning? Can your ears handle an adult conversation? Are we going to talk about the birds and the bees? I just want to point out, why do they call it that? What old person came up with that saying, the birds and the bees? Birds don't have sex and neither do bees. Why did they call it the birds and the bees? These two don't mate together. Can anybody tell me what the reference of the birds and the bees means? I don't know. We're going to talk about the birds and the bees. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, and messenger of God. Today's message. I don't know. People want an explanation. They're in shock. It's called an ego death. I can't believe it. Fucking believe it, bro. What the fuck is your problem? Alright. And that's it. I was going to try to type it out. It's like you can't, some things you just can't put into text. It does no justice. You can't really, like, sum it up in a couple of words. So everybody's all fucking, not everybody, and that's what made me laugh and tell on myself yesterday in that card. In order to keep up with me, you would have had to catch yesterday's video. So the card comes up, and it's all, something about, accepting that many are going to fall away and only certain people are going to accept the new you. And I started laughing super hard, and I told on myself, well, I didn't. I just kind of closed up the story that I had been telling. I'd been telling the whole week. I've been telling since the day it happened, but nobody was listening. And that's it. You hear what you want to hear. I told on myself that very day, actually. I told Marshall that day what had happened. And you're like, no, you didn't. I did, bro. But of course, I had to tell somebody. And that's what's special, is I can tell you. And mind you, the week before, we had already had this fucked up ass conversation, meaning that, like, the spirit had already said this was going to happen. And then he just happened to have a commercial. He didn't make that commercial that day, dude. This was already in the energy, dude. That's why I said we're in a dick-sucking energy. I said, let me show you how it's done. Like, you fucking Lorena Bobbitt bitch. Sort of. Let's go back to it. Why did I do what I did and what happened? Well, you have to go back like 3-4 weeks ago when it was really coming to the surface. It's like I had to accept that our relationship was nothing more than a sexual relationship. He blew me away telling me that I had slept with this dude 12 times. Like 12 times? I don't even remember one. Do you remember all 12? It's like, yes. Okay. Tell me more. Don't. It's going to get weird. Don't tell me about myself. Anyway, so I'm supposed to be facing the reality of this relationship, and it's a beautiful relationship. It's just not the relationship that I want. And I'm like, nah, but I still don't understand the relationship. So then they have to put me in it so I can start to see what the relationship is made up of, how I talk to him, how I feel about him, what I act like. So I can see what I never understood before. I never knew what these feelings were, right? So I had to allow myself to see who I am when I'm with this person. And so I had we'd been talking, seen him once, and I was on my best behavior, but still just talking, just letting it out. And that's when I realized, I was like, it was me, not you. I'm the one that totally initiates all this bullshit, bro. Like, this is totally all me. But I was like, it's not me. Like, you just love this bullshit. So I started to realize it and this and that. And then it's like, I came to the fact, it's like, I do enjoy seeing you. And it's like, I'm supposed to execute a certain level of self-control. And then I started going through these messages, or, going through my teachings. And it's like, I realized that I'm limiting myself out of respect for everyone else, but nobody else cares. It's just a programming that I put on myself, a shame or condemnation. And that's where I started from the beginning. It's like, I can't be your friend with these feelings. That's not appropriate. You know what I mean? This isn't right. I could have a conversation on the internet that this isn't right. Meaning I felt it was wrong from the beginning. And I had to go through all those wrong feelings, and that's what God was working with me through. It's like, why do you feel wrong? I feel condemned. Why do I have to love this man? And I hated it, and he had to show me, you know what I mean? It's like I was working through it. It's like, and that's what I said in the messages. It's like I treat this like a curse. because it makes me feel bad, but nobody makes me feel bad but me. So I had to go through all those bad feelings to get them off of me and not feel bad about liking this guy. So then when I got to the point of it, it's like, I have no reason to feel bad about how I feel about you and what we do together. You're the only man I ever did these things with that I can remember, and the only man I want to do these things with. And if it doesn't seem to bother you or anyone else, then why don't I allow myself? And I realized the only person that was holding me back was me. Did I really want to be all sexual? I wanted to understand it more than anything. I wanted to see it again. Because again, this is very graphic conversation. I remembered that I had given him a blowjob, but the very second the door closed, I completely forgot. It was not even a joke. I couldn't remember what he looked like. I couldn't remember anything. You know what I mean? So it's like I had no vision of a penis in my head. Naturally, the first one should have been his since it was the last one. So there were certain things, and I just had to face my fears about it. Did I go with the intentions of I'm going to go mess with him? No. In actuality, I wanted to see what would happen if I, just to see what will happen. And it didn't start with all like that. But it did happen. And then so too, why didn't you sleep with him? Because I'm fearful. I realized, my destiny. I realized my destiny was to be, was to have a baby, and I wasn't going to have his baby. I wasn't that brave. Why'd you do what you did? Because I like that, and I've told many stories. I did what I like to do, what makes me feel good, what I am good at. And I needed, I guess it wasn't as good as I thought I would. No. What happened? I choked. I was like, wait, what? I don't know. I gagged. I was like, I don't know. But again, it was my first time seeing myself do these things with the whole universe watching. Yes, and people. I know people saw me, dude. I know they did. We were in I'm not going to give all the details, but I guarantee you, lots of people saw me. Lots of people. And I knew they were. And I was just trying to face the shame in it. Because realistically, it's just an act. You know what I mean? It's just an act of love. It wasn't like he paid me to do it and he fucking coerced me. It's like, I want to do this because I love you. And so I sat in that act of love and, with no shame. And, that's what had happened. And everybody's like, what did you do? Yeah, I did it. But I did it because I wanted to. Because I wanted to see. I wanted to experience it. Not at the moment. I didn't get ready with the intentions of, I'm going to go fucking suck this guy off. I was like, I want to see what happens if I don't hold back. What will happen between us if I'm not sitting there trying to control my thoughts and my feelings and be a good girl? You know what I mean? And there was nothing bad that happened in the sense of, I love this man. And this is the only man that I have had any kind of sexual relationships with in 7 years. He says I've had lots of them with him, but this one was the only one that I witnessed myself. And had I not done it, I would have never known what it was and what happens. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it happened. And I was like, okay, this is what we do. All right. And that's all it kind of was. And then I saw what happens after. I was like, oh, now I see okay, this all makes sense now. And that's really what it is I had to put myself in my own shoes and let myself be myself. Instead of running from, myself. And that's it. I was running from how I felt about him and how I acted with him and how it made me feel. So God forced me. You hear the cry of the Morgan? So God forced me to, face it. And if you watch the videos, it was very difficult. I'm crying about it, being brave. And ultimately, why is this such a big deal? My sexual trauma. My sexual trauma. That's what we've been fighting for a very long time. I'll get close to a man, but then I get fearful about the man and his touch. Right? And then it goes back to, who do you feel safe with? Who will you try with? Because I got sexually aroused. I got attracted by Wolfman. I was very attracted. I got sexually aroused by Marshall. At some point, I thought I said something to Russ that caused this whole thing to start. You know what I mean? So it's there, but it was masked under pain and fear and condemnation. So inevitability, you know what I mean? And that's what happened is I was so surprised that it came out the first time. how did I give myself to you when I don't give myself to anybody? What was it about you that made me feel safe enough to let you touch me? And that I wanted to touch you, that I really wanted this. As a lifetime of, sexual abuse, I couldn't understand it. And then I learned, because he's not threatening. I didn't feel manipulated or coerced or forced. I was in control. You know what I mean? It wasn't him, and I was in control. And that's what I liked. And if you go back to the stories, that makes sense. I tell the whole story. I was in control. But in that sense, I thought I lost control. You know what I mean? Like, I just saw him and just went after him like that. But I didn't know we had slept so many times together. I didn't know the feelings that lied within me for him. You know what I mean? So I had to witness it. But I never understood either why we would just hook up and nothing would come from it. And then I saw that too. And I understand it. And it's like, because she wants so much more from me. And it's the truth. It's like, and he said it from the beginning over and over, I can't give you any more. And I was so hurt by that. But then I realized that what he did give me was all I wanted. Right? And somewhat, friends with benefits was really what I wanted. And really what we had. But, wanting more is when he would run. And that's what happened all those years ago when I tried to make it more by, like, making it a real date and shit, taking it a little too far with, let's go spend the weekend up in Glenwood. I wasn't ready for all that. So, it was a thing, but it wasn't like, it wasn't well thought out plan. It was more like, I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to, and that was it. The whole thing was about me being brave. Me allowing myself to be me unapologetically. And then me owning it. That first morning, it had been like, I don't know, probably about 10 in the morning, and I was like, yeah, I'm avoiding you. And I told Marshall, yeah, I'm avoiding you. And I have a secret. And then he pulls out the fucking dick sucking video, and I was like, you're making this very easy for me, and I appreciate this, because I didn't know how I was going to tell you what has happened. Did I tell him everything? Pretty much. And you're like, how could you do that? I don't know. Because I knew he'd understand. I knew it was going to hurt his feelings, and we had already had a talk about it weeks ago, like a week before. I was like, do you have such a hard time going out and sleeping with people too? I was like, that's where something happened between us. I was like, don't make me go out there and come back and have to tell you how it felt. That's going to be weird. I was like, you go do it. I was like, no, you don't go do it. I don't want that. I don't want to feel that. I don't want to hear that. And then it started some healing between the two of us. But then I went out and did the deed, the evil deed. It was really poetic because at the time, Wolfman was posting, he's like, do you want to dance with the devil again? I was like, dude, I'm stepping in the name of love over here. And then so Marshall comes out with this video, and he makes it okay, bro. That fucking video was like, it's okay to suck dick. Like, it's actually okay. I'm tired of it, actually. It was so God, bro. It was so God. And I just was like, I can't believe this. In the sense of, you want to sit there like in shock of, in shame and like, oh my God, what if I did? And then you're like, the whole crowd goes wild. And you're like, okay, I did a good job. And then I just sat there in the silence of what I did for days, like, because he wasn't talking to me. I was like, all right, let me think about this a little bit. How do you feel? I feel fine. He obviously doesn't feel so good about this. This is starting to make a lot of sense now. I kind of get this. I get what's going on. And it brought so much closure to the actual relationship, because that's all it was. It really was. It was just a sexual magnetism between the two of us. It really was. That I denied and that I didn't understand and I felt bad about. I don't care. And, I mean, if she did or didn't find out, that's between them. That's not I didn't do this. And again, if he didn't care, then why should I? Because what I did was out of love, not out of spite. It was out of love for myself, to be honest. And that's where I was being mean about saying, I used you for my own self-gain, my own personal healing. Yeah. I guess I kind of did, but in the sense of, it's still poetic because, like, if you don't understand, you know what I mean? It helps with the fears, you know what I mean? It's like, I can do this. I did it before, I can do it again. Not necessarily with just him, but in the sense of, these things that I think I can't do. I can be that girl. I can do this. I don't have to be afraid. Not that I wasn't afraid. I'm terrified, but I can be brave. And you're like, that area? Yeah, bro. I have a lot of sexual trauma. Sex is not a thing in my world, but it has to be if I'm going to be married. And it should be in general. And that's why I was laughing at myself after I was crying about it. It's like, it was so obvious that I was sexually frustrated and I was denying my whole essence of being, you know what I mean? Just because of fear. Because of fear. Because of fear. And I couldn't let anyone else in. So, you know what I mean? I had to go back to where I felt safe. And I don't regret what I did, and I'm sure there's lots of people that have an opinion, and that's why I was called this morning to explain myself. And I didn't want to have this as a full, explanation, but I already have. I had to explain myself to myself, and then I explained myself to Marshall, to be honest, to my twin. But they're all they are, but I can't, you know what I mean? Like, if I would have said this to Russ, he'd have lost his mind and posted his girl's vagina just out of it, just out of spite, out of retaliation. I'm not saying that my words didn't upset Marshall, but he understands that I'm just trying to have an experience and learn things. He understands that I'm really just a soul in here trying to do my job. That I'm not out here playing methodical games, and you know what I mean, that I'm really pretty confused most of the time, trying to figure shit out. And it did. I can't imagine how that made him feel, but at the same time, he knew that I wasn't, I don't know. And that's it too. It's like now everybody's in this kind of state of shock of, why would you do that? I never thought, hey, stop thinking, bro. Stop thinking that you know what's best for me. And you know why I'm doing the things that I do, and I'm this and I'm that and I'm evil, and no, bro. I'm not any of the things that you think I am, and in essence, I'm trying to always figure out fully what and who I am, what I can be, and how much of me I can be. Because I had it in me. You know what I mean? But there was a huge part of me that wasn't able to be that girl. And that's what I said to Marshall. I was like, it's a testament to how much I will love and how far I will go in my love. It's like, and I said it to him, it's like, I love you enough that much that in the broad daylight I will sit there and show the world that this is how I love you and this is how much, to make you feel good. And I don't care how bad I look making you feel good, because that's how I love you. And that's, you know what I mean? That's what that was too. It's like, you're not going to make me feel bad. I feel good that I love someone this much and that I will go this far for someone. I mean, that's what I was talking about. It's like, we won't go that far. And that was yesterday's video, is I give up on people. I'm not going to do this for you. I'm not going to do this with you or for you, you know. But in essence, it's like, why shouldn't you love anyone that much, where you will just love them like with all of your entire being, with no persecution? I know people see us, and I know they're judging us, but they don't know that I love you and that I'm just loving you and that you love this. Yeah, well, you know, after you open your eyes and you see all the people and you got to drive away, that might be a little hard to look at. But not me. I looked at myself as, you know what I mean, in the light. And I wasn't the only one there. Everybody, the whole universe was watching me be brave. You're like, the universe was watching you give a blowjob? That's my strongest power, something I love to do with all my heart. And they watched me be brave and do what I love to do, unapologetically. They were proud of me. And that's like, oh, you sinner. Who said it was a sin? God gave me such a power, such a pleasure, such a love. I'm the Lilith. You guys only study such type of love and passion. You look for it in books and in, you know, Saturday night hookups. You want someone to love you and your body in such ways. You want to be able to love someone else's body. That goes back to treat. Oh my God, dude. Hey, your song is booty whack. I told you with your music. Ugh. Auto-tune. How much auto-tune did you put on that? Good Lord. Sorry. He's coming back in. I'm going to run into that in the road. I know it. Already been known it. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to run into your ass. No, but I had so much love for him at that time in the beginning. I said some shit like that to him. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. My ego is dying right now. I was like, because he was my friend. I felt safe with him. I felt comfortable, and that's what I said to him at that time. Why was I don't know. Again, I don't know what we were. I just know how I feel about you and how I felt about you. I don't know how I got to those feelings. That's what takes all this damn work. How'd I get there? How'd you jump off that cliff? But I told him, I was like, when I realized that I had a really great, beautiful, supporting, loving man next to me, I decided to take a chance on this man. And I told him, I said something to the effect of, I started to see his sexiness. He's a sexy guy, I guess. So weird to say, dude. It's so weird to say. I was like, this is really hurting my ego right now. This is hurting my skin. When the heart talks, it's like, oh God. Anyways, I tell him, I was like, something, I don't know, bro. I'm gonna go find it today and we'll all have a great laugh. It's in there, bro. It's the most loving message, but it is so uncomfortable to read. So it's something to the effect of, allowing me to make love to his body. I was like, I'm gonna find the message. It's great. I was like, not you, what you could do to me, but allowing me to love you is what I was, what I had said to him. Listen, all this shit coming out of my throat. I'm breaking open my throat chakra. All kinds of shit's coming out. Word vomit. Anyways, in the sense of, I reached a place where I just wanted to love you the only way I knew how, which was, let me make love to your body. But that's what was so confusing, is because, like, I don't submit. I'm Lilith. I'm not giving you no. In the essence of my making. But then you put on the skin and all the terror and fear that is experienced around sex, and then yet there's just this explosive, passionate part in me that wants to love a man's body. As I said yesterday, I love men. I fucking hate them, but I love them. They're all beautiful in their own little ways. They're just really beautiful. It's not so much their appendage, but it's just, men are beautiful beings. They really are. And, God, my men, they're great. And, I posted that last night. Somebody was like, after listening to how I love all of them, they're like, she really loves them. Like, she loves, like, all of them. Like, how does that even work? God, bro, I love them all. I don't sexually love them all. I don't, think of any of them. If I get there, then there's work to be done. I don't think about them like that. I just think about how much I love them. How fun it is to just sit around and giggle with them and hold them and laugh. Ah. Marshall and I crunched over. Oh my God, this shit is funny. Oh. Logic. I fucking love logic. Logic, I've been calling you in. I feel it. My energy's been calling you in. We're gonna link up. We're gonna Starlink pretty soon. But I love logic, and it's not that type of love. It's like, I fucking hate you, Nick. I love you so much. And then Royce, it's like, dude, I love you, Royce. You know what I mean? It's like a salute to Royce. Always, I love you, Royce. I love you, Royce. It's always a salute. You know what I mean? It's just an unbelievable. And then NF, a whole angel, bro. It's like, he's a whole angel, bro. He's a whole different type of being. A whole different type of being, which is just like, I guess it's like Dante and Virgil. You know what I mean? He's just, but at the same time, he's supposed to put on the skin, just like I am, just like we all did. But he never put on the skin. He didn't really. He takes it off. He doesn't wear the skin. He doesn't wear the skin. And so that's why I tease him a lot. I'm like, come here, come put on the skin. It feels great. And what do I offer him? Blowjobs all the time. It's like, come here, look at what I can do. Come here, you're going to love this. Let me show you something. Not like I'm going to marry you. You got to go back to that wife you got over there. very complex, and it's very complex relationships we have. And then you have Ali and Lewis, where I love them so much that I have to protect them from me. Like, you have to stay over there. I'm going to bite you. Like, you're going to get hurt over here. You're too, the little guys. It's like, they're like my Michael Jacksons. You know what I mean? Like, stay over there, guy. We're having adult business over here. I love them all so dearly. But yeah, it's confusing because it's such a deep love for each and every one. And then they're like, what about the new guy? You really love him? Yeah, I love that guy, dude. Look at him. I love that guy. I'm going to love the shit out of that guy, is what I said. What kind of love? That's the thing, is we're learning. What is this love that I have for you, and where is its limits, and what does it want from you? What is this attraction? You know what I mean? What is it that I feel for you? And you work through, and you try to work through the bad feelings to understand the good feelings and where they come from. It's like, okay, I get it. You look like something I would like. You talk, you do the things that I do. I see why I'm attracted to you. But what do I want from you? And that's it, is we don't, wanting everyone to fulfill all the roles in your life is not fair. And that's what I realized, through Bobby. It's like, he can't be everything, but what he is wonderful. And that's Russ. You can't be that guy, fine. The guy you are is the guy, we have it's a very complex relationship, but it's very powerful. And I was like, life would be dull without Russ. When he's quiet, I worry about him. Are you okay? Why aren't you talking? Why aren't you looking for attention? Why aren't you out in the, you know what I mean? When he gets quiet, I worry about him. But then when he talks, I'm like, shut up. You know what I mean? There has to be Russ. And that's it. I hate it. I was like, oh, God, the only constant is him. But, if I didn't have him, then there wouldn't be any constant, because the rest of them flow in and out. They're very fluid. Marshall's constant, but I have to, he's not going to, he's just there. I have to approach him. And that's what it is some people, you have to be the initiator. They're there when you want them, but they're not going to sit there and just, he's always there. And it's not like, it's like I have to go and talk to him if I want to talk to him. He's not going to, go out of his way to talk to me. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean like that. And it's like, they're all always there. They're just, somewhere. And so they're important relationships. And, when I'm set apart from, I'm not dealing with all of them, then there's Royce. Here comes Logic. You know what I mean? Here they come, they kind of, as I said, they pass the baton. They pass me around to make sure that I'm not alone. You know what I mean? They keep me on my toes. They really do. And realistically, it's just an orbit. It's an orbit. They're just orbiting. We're all orbiting around each other. We can't really break the field. And, yesterday's post, it's like, as hard as it is for you, the collective, to understand, they've had to experience this for nearly 2 years of not understanding how it is possible that I can love them all. And that's where it's like the big spectacular is that. It's like, they watched me with Russ, and everyone was like, she fucking loves him. They fucking love each other. This is a gross-ass, marriage-ass love. They love each other. To where you thought I loved him more. But then when Bobby comes in, you're like, damn, she loves him more. She's going to go with him. And then you hear me talk about Marshall, and you're like, dude, she loves him the most. And it's like, no, I can't love anyone more. I haven't got to that place of more with anyone. And that's the actual union. Like, when I'm with you, then I'm going to love you more than others because I'm not with them. That's, we're going to be closer because we're close. I don't have that closeness. So you think that I'm closer with Bobby. Well, yeah, physically close, but that's, not spiritually, not emotionally, not mentally. That's not where he is with me. That's not that relationship where that all comes from a whole different guy that creates a whole different type of love. And that's where it is. It's like, Ali brings out a part of my heart that nobody else does. It just opens. I can just look at Ali. I can hear his voice. It's just like, I see the lotus open. That's what I'm seeing. And Mac Miller sitting on it. Oh God, Mac, I love you. It opens. Who is it? It's Mac Miller on a Saturday. I love you, Mac. it's like that. It's like I can open up in a different way where I can, be the softest version of myself. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with Marshall, I can be the roughest version of myself. I can be, but it's like, who can I be all of myself with? Who can I have all of this with? And that's what it is you try to fit them into all the different areas. You know what I mean? Who's going to be Russ for me? There's no one like Russ. Who's going to be Russ for me? Who's going to irritate my skin like this guy? You know what I mean? Like, seriously. He laughs at me too, though. They all do. Like, this bitch. I know, right? Some are like, they don't get the jokes. They take it a little too personal. But they're all just relationships. And in essence, like, I'd like to have what I have with Bobby with others. I'd like to have what I have with Marshall. I'd like to have all of this in one package, but it's just separated to where I have these great relationships with everybody. I really do. And it's complex, and that's because because there's parts of me spread out all over, as the goddess. That's just it. Triple, there's more to me than three. There's more to me than three in that sense, and that's what it is. And you can really identify it with the twin flames. Okay, so each of them, I'm healing a certain part of me that only they bring out, and I reflect with them. But that part of me is from an old lifetime. So we are, again, as I tell you, my twin flames, we are healing past life. We're integrating past life karma and cleansing it in this life. So all of my past life lovers are here, and partners in crime. As I see Logic and Royce, my partners in crime. It was your fault, Logic. Whatever you did, bro. I just went down with you. So did Royce. What did you do in that woods? Do you have the memories? I think I could activate them if you came close. I can activate a lot of stuff. I am an antenna. You just have to come, and I light it up inside of you. Good and bad and all that great shit. But anyways, going back to it, it's like these were my partners. So we come here to relive the past, to break the pattern. We were in patterns. So we come here to relive the pattern, but to break it, to change the future by changing the past. And that's really what it is. And it's mundane relationships in 2024. But it's 2025, I should say. But as weird as it is, and that's what I was talking about the video yesterday, it's like we live in such a technological era, and that's where it is too. Oh God, this guy told me about Google last night. He told me about the Google chip. He said that it broke the code, and that this actual chip is pulling information from the quantum realms. And I was like, that's amazing, because now science is caught up to it. And it's like I was explaining the full spectrum of science, religion, medicine. We're all there. The day before that, a woman, I took her to a chiropractor, and she was telling me how the chiropractor, not using our terminology, but basically knows how to hit certain points of the chakras to realign so it can awaken her inner traumas and stresses to release them. They learned how to do what the lady from the Palladium book was doing, the dolphin reprogramming, which is just chakra alignment. You know what I mean? She goes to, again, health physician that does that. Now we have science that's doing it, and then there's, us of the spiritual world. You're going to see real quick the people that have power and don't, that walk in the spirit. That's what I was seeing in this very moment, as all of evolution is moving towards this. You see the priest with no power. All I saw was the whole clergy with no power. They're sitting there condemning the evolution because they're left out of it. They have no power. They're not connected to the actual spirit of what is happening in the world. Now, going back to technology, we are very close to the fall. The Atlantean fall. That's what happened with the Atlanteans. They fell to the technology. They just kept evolving it and evolving it. And this is where it goes. How do we fall? I told you before how this works. All of our technology is ran off of satellites in outer space. You have no control what happens outside of space and time. That's God's realm. So as much as, scientists are afraid of this big asteroid, God will protect us because he created this. He's not going to destroy it fully, right? So you don't have to worry about that. There is a God. But secondly, not only God, but all the beings outside know that all of our power comes from those satellites. And that's where they get all their information about us, is through the satellites. And that's how they transfer information to us, is through the satellites. For those that hear that way, going back to it, they will take out the satellites so that we can start over. Without technology, everything starts over. We're close to it. It will happen. It'll look as some kind of miraculous, this end of times, the fucking asteroid will come. Something will happen. They'll kick that bitch. They're going to kick that bitch. They're going to turn that bitch off, whatever. And we go back to zero. Everybody goes back to zero and the survival of living off the land again. You know what I mean? The doors won't even open. The doors won't even open. Do you understand that your doors are all on a lock system that's connected to the internet? When that internet goes down, you can't even open the doors. You can't open the registers. You can't, there's no gas. It's all run off of an electronic system. And when the system goes down, and that's what we were being prepared for in Y2K, we were a little ahead of our time, but we knew that when this happened, we would lose all technology and how dependent we were off of it, and it terrified us. Well, it didn't happen then, but it will happen. So going back to this bullshit, it's like the end of the beginning and all of this, and we're supposed to be just cleaning up our messes while we go through these times. Your day-to-day nonsense that you see is just nonsense in the life that we live in is actually a big, huge game board that's being played out. It's the Hunger Games. And the way to know is who's dying and who's playing is turn on the news. All of us are just trying to survive in the game. You know what I mean? But some of us are being led by our survival techniques, and some of us are being led by by an outside source that's telling us how to play this game, how to make it through this game, how to win this game. But it's just a game. It's the game of life. So yeah, there's your explanation, everybody. Everybody wants to know it. And it's like, you think you know, but you have no idea of what I'm doing. And all I'm doing is healing and being brave and preparing myself for my mate. And who is he? I don't know. That's the fun game. What's behind curtain number 2? I don't know. I think it's every single one of them. Why? Because you're not supposed to have limitations. And that's what I said. I'm not supposed to deny anyone the possibility of loving me, and me the possibility of loving another. The only thing that holds me back is my own egotistical ways of where I deem you not good enough or me not good enough. And that's what that card was talking about, is allowing in a new love that isn't your type. None of these men were my type, bro. They're not my type. I gotta be honest, by physical appearance alone, Wolfman was my type. By physical appearance alone. That was it. And if you didn't understand that, go back to my video on Yuma where they sent me all these loads of guys that looked just like him. I was like, oh my god, it's a glitch in the matrix. I was like, dark skin, tattoos, goatees, it's them. There's a glitch. Puck, what's happening? What's happening? They all look alike. Meaning, yeah, I have a type. You know what I mean? But in the sense of they're like, Marshall wasn't my type. I don't date white boys. Russ, nope. Black, nope. Mexican, Puerto Rican. I don't fuck with you kind of shit like that. In the sense of, did I have a type? There was a type of man that I found attractive, on the surface level. But as far as a type, that's it. It's like, you're not supposed to have a type. You're supposed to be the type that you could love anyone. And that's what it is. That's what you see on my page, is she really loves it. I fucking really love them. And that really drove Russ crazy. It was easy to compete with Ali. Fuck him. It was easy to compete with all them, but then when I started really like these other guys, it's like, oh fuck, I gotta work really hard at this. I can't be that guy. Don't try. I love you. And so it's like, stop being them. You can't be them. I'm not gonna love you like I love them. I love you. And that's what they see too. It's like, she loves the shit out of him. I mean, I do, but like, it's not the love I think you want. I don't even want it. And sometimes, like, why we gotta be so harsh with each other? But it's so funny. Burning him, God, it feels so good. And me and everybody laughs real hard, and he probably doesn't. I'm sorry. It hurts, huh? Payback is a bitch, I guess. I had to wonder what was happening here. Like, why am I always burning you? I've been burning you forever. I guess that's just what I. He gets tired of it. He's like, I'm not going to talk. She's always burning me. Tired of her making. That's what I'd be too. I'm tired of your shit, bro. A very complex relationship. And then fucking Bobby want to talk about, don't bring him into our conversation. We'll talk about him. He's always here. He's listening to us. leave me alone. He's always there, that guy. I just said he knew. So then what'd he do? Fucking flew out to Aspen. What the fuck did you come out here for? And I asked him too. I was like, it had to bother you to be that close and still not talk to me. So you're such a pussy. I was like, no, really. I did the same thing. I was dancing around Bobby and wouldn't talk to him. I was like right around him and wouldn't talk to him. Oh, you come to Aspen. He's an idiot. I was like, yeah, just come out here and pretend like you're not obsessed and that I'm not down the hill and you're not totally thinking about me and what I'm doing. Go ahead. How does that work? It's like, I know how that works. Because I'd be driving around like, no, I'm not thinking about you. I'm not thinking about you. I don't care what you're doing. Fuck you. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Yeah, bro. And I don't know. Who else? That's why I saw Lewis the other day and Lewis posted he was skiing or snowboarding. I was like, Lewis, are you home? Are you up on that mountain too? I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, is this bitch going to show up at the game tomorrow? Does he realize I'm like a block away? Are you going to come that close and never say nothing? It's like, I know how that works. Logic was in town, didn't say nothing. NF was in town, didn't say nothing. There's trees like right around the corner. Fucking Brian, are you going to say something? I'm waiting for Brian to say something. I'm waiting for him to invite me to a show. He always does. Maybe he's going to stop because I told him I wouldn't go over and over again. That's why I was like, just because I say no, it doesn't really mean no. I still want you to keep trying. Sounds like some fucked up relationship shit, right? Maybe we should work on that. Alright, so there's your fun explanation and your, the birds and the bees and Lilith in the tree. Why do they call it the birds and the bees? It makes no sense. Can somebody explain that? I'm going to leave the comments open for this bullshit. Can somebody go ask your grandmother why they said that? Your great-great-grandfather? Can somebody channel the ancestors and find out where this came from? Because my ancestors don't know. Do you know God? I'm looking at God. Hold on, give me a second. Let me really ask him. No, it makes no sense. Neither does Easter. Or the fact that you thought Jesus wore underwear. Jesus didn't wear underwear. Do you really think they wrapped him up after they made him do all that? Hell no, bro. He was hanging on that cross butt-ass naked, bro. What you don't understand was that was typical of how they would... There was 2 dudes hanging there before he got there, bro. You guys... They didn't treat him they didn't give him any special treatment, bro. That was typical. They're gonna whip your ass and hang you on a cross. That was typical, bro. There was 2 other dudes hanging before you got there. What'd they do with the witches? They hung them bitches, too. I'm just saying. Did they wrap up the other guys' genitals, too? They didn't give a shit, bro. They wanted you to die. They didn't care if your wiener was hanging out, bro. You're so stupid, you guys. They had enough respect to cover. No, the artist has enough respect to not want to draw a penis on this dying man. They didn't want to take away his manhood in this picture. That's why I'm always saying, you ever seen a woman hang naked on a cross upside down? That's what God's got me doing over here. It's a pathetic look, dude. That was typical, bro. The way people shame you is the way they shame everyone, is what the story is that he's giving me right now. They shamed him no more than they shamed all the others. Right? That's it. They shamed him no more than they shamed the others. And they're going to shame you the same way. Sticks and stones, bro. They're going to hold you to your cross, meaning they're going to hold you to your sins. They're going to hold you to your past. They're going to nail you to it, bro. They're going to nail you for everything you did in the past. You know, there's some great examples of people that aren't nailed. Is Robert Downey Jr., bro. Do you guys really know what happened to you? Iron Man? Bro, he got spun out of control. Like Charlie Sheen on cocaine in the 90s, bro. Like, he would just kept having one fuck up after another. He was really fucked up, bro. They found him. He was passed out in a kid's room, like a total stranger. They found this actor all coked out and passed out in a kid's room, like a stranger's house in a kid's room. And he was arrested and all this shit. Nobody ever talks about that, bro. It was like it never happened. Meaning you can change, you know what I mean, the past, your past transgressions, where people will forget. And sometimes they won't, because I don't forget. But it doesn't matter. Because that was, you look back at them, you're like, everyone was doing cocaine. I guess, you know, they're all doing it out here too. But, you know, some things you just, you know, after you wear it for so long, it doesn't wear you down anymore. Do you know what I mean? That's what it means, is to carry your crosses, like, to carry it. And that was your shadow. It's like, just carry it. Just wear it, bro. Like, and that's Marshall. It's like, you know, that's Pac. Talking about his mom being a crack fiend, talking about the truth, but it's still, it's like, I'm going to wear this, and I'm not going to have shame in this. This is what God gave me, and I'm going to work with it instead of against it, and I'm not going to hide it, and I'm not going to project it, and I'm not going to pretend that this isn't who I am, and this isn't where I come from. Because by doing that, you're denying not only you, but your family and your ancestors, because your ancestors brought you to this place, and God brought you to this place. You know what I mean? And you always wanting better and to persecute others in your desire to be in a better place is not fair, because all of us were part of the tribes coming to do, you know, we're all with our teepees up trying to, you know what I mean, survive off the land, and we shouldn't be scalping and, you know, killing each other to try to get resources when there's, you know what I mean, we should be providing, coming together, you know, the hunters and the gatherers working together instead of working against each other. And that's, you know, the gold rush. It was a fucking mass slaughter when they came from all different parts of the world. They came to, you know, to find gold in our hills. And the second they would see another, they would kill them on sight, bro. On sight, bro. And that's literally the vibe that people got right now. I'm seeing Royce, he shares it. It's on sight, bro. On sight. I will fucking kill you on sight, bro. You don't talk about me like that. You don't disrespect me like that. You don't do that to me. I will kill you on sight. And that's it. If you're not going to physically kill them, you're going to kill them with your words. You're going to kill their vibe. You're going to kill their reputation. You're going to kill them. You're going to attack them and take from them. And, you know what I mean? Everything you can. And you put your life above their life. And they're just living their life, bro. They rubbed you the wrong way. They crossed you up. You know what I mean? Like, you take vengeance and wrath into your hands in such ways. Some of you literally, you know, like that guy. What happened with the Bourbon Street? It was methodical and planned out. Who put that thought in his head? The devil? Was that the devil? Can he get away with that in court? Probably. Whatever it was put inside of him. An idea that became so massive. And for whatever reason that you can't understand, he said, this will be a good idea. His mind came up with that. Now, as far as the people, again, destruction is a way of revelation. Because at that time, we realized now we have another problem. So now we've learned that there is a problem, and we have to learn how to protect ourselves from this type of problem again. So now that's where the investigation goes, is how big of a problem is this? How much did we not know about this problem? How long has this problem been going on? What was the intentions had it not stopped? How big would this have gone? That was the big investigation of 9/11. We didn't even know that this was even possible, let alone how deep and methodical it was and how it could happen anywhere. And by us taking a hit, the whole world was able to learn how to protect themselves from something similar. You know what I mean? So what had happened on Bourbon Street, it's like, you know, you're finding out this was very well planned out. You want to understand what the plan was and why they planned to do such things. And that's the, you know, the questions you'll never fully understand, because it was just a thought that became a poison in their head that turned into, this will be a good idea. But the heart was scared. The heart had to have said some things that, tried to stop it. No, what if? And then the mind overtook it and was like, I'm going to execute this plan.
Morning.
Good morning. So the people that died, that was their way to die. And if you think about it, I was reading it, and then it's not to be insensitive, but it's like, Kalik, the lords of death, the goddesses of death, come to get those that cannot make it through another year of the wheel. They got them on the last day. They came and got them. Or on the first day, said, you shall not suffer another year in this world. We all have to die. Some of us, it's painful dying. You know what I mean? That death process is going to be painful. But if you know the hospitals and you know the way that science works, is they do everything to make sure your body doesn't feel the pain of what you've just been through. And that's hospice, you know what I mean? They have a way of medicating the body, the happy pill, so that you don't feel this pain as you're transitioning into the next life. Those people that died went on to another life. God chose that this is how you'll go. You'll go together. All of you together will celebrate this last moment. A bunch of strangers. I'll bring you all together, bring you all home together on this last night. They were all in a good vibe. They were celebrating. Where were they before they weren't here? They were happy. They were happy about what was to come next, their new life, their new year. They got a new life and a new year. It's just not with us. So he took all of them home. Now, what about all the people that are injured? He changed all of their lives too. You're going to have a different life this year. You're going to learn survival this year. We're going to break you and rebuild you this year. Physically, yes. Their bodies, the injured. All of them suffered some serious injuries by being ran over by a truck. Grandma got ran over by a fucking Homo sapien in a fucking truck on Bourbon Street. Yeah, bro, it's unbelievable. Was that the devil? Or was God not right there and saw this? Were their ancestors, were their loved ones not there? This is going to be hard. We're here with you. Hold on to them. They didn't see it coming, but God knew this was coming. And those that survive will survive, and they will tell their stories, and their lives will change lives. It doesn't make sense to you. It just seems unfair and cruel when you see it as evil. But from dark things, good things can happen. Right? At any time, any of these, especially New Orleans, and we've been talking about it, it's like fucking Juneteenth and shit. Any of these places, we don't realize that we're in danger until the danger happens. And then we learn how to protect ourselves from future dangers. It could have happened anywhere, and it has happened. The last time, I'm seeing the Boston one. Remember that guy? He hit all those bikers. They were doing a marathon. He just drove straight through them. Like, I'm just going to kill all these people. Why did he do that? I thought. Some people, you'll ask them over and over, and that's where I am. What the fuck were you thinking? I can tell you what I was thinking, but it still doesn't make sense to me either. And that's because I take the time to sit with myself and understand where I got to. And that's where you send in these psychologists and these investigators and all this shit. You're trying to get down to the bottom of what the fuck was you thinking, bro? Why did you do that? I want to know why you did this. How did you do it, and why did you do it? It's a fucking crime scene. That's me in my life all day. How the fuck did that happen? How did I get there? What happened? What was I thinking? Going back to Russ. You wanted to marry him and have his kids? What the fuck were you thinking? I mean, I could tell you what I was thinking, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, fuck. I'm guilty. That was me. I have the videos to prove it. It was me. Yeah. Higher understanding. Just understand. Try to with your heart, not with your mind. And what the understanding of the mind is having compassion and love. The mind is trying to make it make sense. It don't make sense. Nothing does. It really doesn't. If you're just trying to make it, fall in order. It's not in order. Everything is all out of order. It's chaos. The peace is knowing that God is doing all things. That gives you peace. So you don't have to wonder, is there something else out there fucking with me? Is there something Is there something bad? You don't have to fear the bad. You know what I mean? Fear only your God. But don't fear him, because you should know that he's working for you, not against you. He's not working against people. As much as that person took those lives, he used that person to do such things. He wanted his people home. How was he going to bring home all 15 people at the same time from different places? I'll put them all in this. I'll kill... Oh, it's a terrible saying. Kill 15 birds with one bush. Forgive it. Forgive me. And that's where we learn to have forgiveness for God and compassion for God and understanding for God as much as as much as man. Forgive him, for you don't know what he's doing. And I'm here to teach you what he's doing. He's not an evil God. He's not the devil, but he is your God, and he's doing this. All those people, he wanted to bring them home. And he brought them home on a celebratory night. It happened a year ago. I'm seeing my dad. Yep, that's what happened. And I had to tell him that she had left this body. My dad's friend that I knew of, I was talking to him, and he said that she was in the ER. She had like an aneurysm. She just went out and had a couple of drinks with her family, and she wasn't feeling good. She had a headache. And so she left. It was New Year's Eve. She left. And then she ended up in the hospital, and they say that she was going to die. So I tried to reach out into her, and she had already left the body. And I'm looking at my dad, and I'm like, I had to tell him. I was like, could you possibly accept that she chose to leave in such a beautiful way? That she wanted one more night to celebrate one more night. Maybe it was, I'm pretty sure it was New Year's. I have to look at the videos, it's in there. That she accepted that she wanted one more night with her family, and then she was going to leave. And this is how she leaves, quietly in the middle of the night. Because like she went into a coma is what happened, and they said she wasn't going to recover. And when I tried to tap into her spirit, it was already gone. Meaning that she's alive on the machines. The spirit has left the body now. You're just keeping the body alive on the machine. She's no longer in there. And I asked him, do you want her to come back into there and live another year, 5 years, 10 years? How many more years must she be in that body for you and for everyone else when God has called her home? It was a year ago. Yeah, I remember that. And that's it. We have to go that way. The only way home is through death. Right? And that's why so many people try to take their lives. Because they want to go home. They want to leave this place. They want to leave these feelings. They want to leave these memories. But they won't. They'll come back to the very place, and they'll relive that life and create the same exact memories so that they can overcome this place. What is this place? It's hell on earth. We destroyed it. But if you walk in the spirit, you can see the paradise again within the dark. And that goes back to Bobby. You're just the devil trying to convince me that the grass is greener in hell. It is. If you sit outside, you can see it. It's beautiful. All 50 shades of brown. Yeah, I'm a little deep on that. Oh, and then to you fuckheads. The first thing in the morning, the Holy Spirits are like, they're mad at you because they're not getting no songs or inspiration out of you. I don't give a fuck. It's not what I was ever here to do for you, idiots.
Bring you a soda for one of those cigarettes.
You really need a cigarette that bad? Yeah. I'll take the soda because my kids will take the soda.
Okay, each Pepsi.
Okay, that's cool. Here, have a cigarette. That's a fair trade, my friend.
All right, I'll bring it right out.
Appreciate you. So let me trade you something. That's a hustle right there. Not like, let me get one. Let me trade you. Okay, that's cool because my kids will drink the soda. Now we're talking. That was good shit. That's a good shit right there. Because he's asked me before and I tell him no. He's like, I know how you work. You're going to tell me no. Let me offer you a little something. Okay, cool. He tried to offer me a little something. I was like, no, I don't do that something. There's a little something here. There's all kinds of something that I never even heard of before. I've been asking a lot of questions about the drugs that people do nowadays. There's some scary shit out there. Be careful. It's not just fentanyl they're fucking with. These are shit I never even heard of, dude. But anyways, yeah, you and your creativity. You're trying to make a song off of me? You're trying to make a t-shirt? All you're going to catch is healing, bro. Do the work. Quit your job and do the work. Quit playing around. So stupid to me. I think you guys know. Everybody wants something. Everybody wants something. So anyways, yeah, that was my explanation. That's why I did what I did. And I didn't, you know what I mean? All I did was be brave and love myself and love another. And all it did was, and that's what I was crying about, all it did was make me love myself more and be proud of myself and understand myself. I didn't get a husband. I didn't get anything but a closure to a karmic experience, to karma. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day, babe.
All right.
So that's the story. We're at an hour and 8 seconds, so I'm gonna cut this shit off. But yeah, I don't have to explain myself, but I can. And I don't have anything to hide, even if I want to. I don't have to, because I'm not ashamed. I'm enjoying my life. I'm making hard decisions. I'm doing things that people are not proud of, but I'm doing them in the name of Jesus Christ and in the name of love and in the name of healing. Everything I do is pushing myself. I don't want to do such things. I'm scared of such things, but I'm always pushing myself to be brave and to be authentic and not care. And it goes back to yesterday's video. His name wasn't CJ, it was C.S. Lewis. And the video was when a woman stands alone. It's like, I know how you see it, but you only see with your 2 eyes. You can only see what your brain has told you it is, and that's not what's happening around here. And you're welcome to play judge and jury, but your judgment on me means nothing, because you judge the world with such, you know what I mean, with such hatred. I can see the hate in your eyes. I can hear your thoughts, but it doesn't matter. That's your feelings about me and the rest of the world. That's not how I feel about what I am and what I'm doing. And nobody's going to make me feel bad when God's trying to make me feel good about who I am and what I'm doing. You know, I'm not all love and light, but nobody is. That's a false light. He didn't create humans in such ways. We were the light before we came here, but we became dark when we put this on. And in order to be light again, we have to harness the darkness of the skin we wear and not let the darkness hold us down, which is this, you know what I mean, the shame, the guilt, the regret, the condemnation, you know, all of that. You're not going to make me feel bad about the skin I wear. I'm going to learn to always feel good about the skin I wear, and I'm going to teach others. And I hope that you'll start to feel good about the skin you wear and what God has put you through. It has stripes. It could be black and white or white and black, but you are covered in stripes. And when you start to look at those stripes, you're going to see the beauty in the layers of what your being is and what you wear, not just because of your life, but the skin you wear for the ancestors before you and how you wear the stripes passed down. And this is your turn to lead them, to lead your bloodline into victory, which is what? Breaking them out of the suffering. So, hey, I love you guys. Just live your life. Later, haters.